What's up guys, it's Mark here back with another video. Today I want to show you guys something that I get asked about a lot, and that is how I get my designs onto t-shirts. So I'm going to walk you through the process today of how I create a mock-up image in Photoshop. I've seen some tutorials floating around that are like 30 minutes long and stuff like that. Totally unnecessary. It's super easy, super quick. I'll show you exactly how to do it in way less time than that. So the first thing you're going to need is a design. I've got two designs here. The reason being I'm going to show you one on a white shirt, one on a black shirt where the design's white. Thought I'd pick two different designs to make it a bit more interesting. The next thing you're going to need is a photograph of a t-shirt. So my personal preference for this sort of thing is if I know that the design is going to get printed on a certain brand of t-shirt, I want to grab a photograph of that brand of t-shirt so that my mock-up is as accurate as it can possibly be to the final product. For example, if I have a clothing brand and I have mock-ups on my web store, I want it to look exactly like what the customer is going to get. So if I Photoshop the design onto a different brand of shirt or a different cut of shape of t-shirt, that's kind of not quite accurate and sort of false advertising in a way. In Australia right now, there's a brand of t-shirts that I use all the time called AS Color. They're really, really good. No affiliation or anything, by the way, but it's very, very common right now for Australian brands to use AS Color t-shirts. So I'm on the AS Color website right now, and I can grab a photo by going to blank tees and then picking on the model of the shirt I want, which is a staple tee. And one thing I really like about these as well is that all of the images they have here are sort of like flat lay styled ones as well, which I think looks a bit more professional. Now, if you live in America, for example, maybe you want to jump to the American Apparel website. If you don't know what type of shirt you're going to use that yet, feel free to ask a screen printer or whoever's going to print the t-shirt, and they can give you some recommendations on what most of their customers are using and stuff like that. But right now in Australia, all the good brands seem to be using AS Color, so that's what I'll do. Another brand, another common brand is Gildan, so you could always go to their website and grab a photo from there too. So all I've done is copied this image, and I also got one in black, opened up a Photoshop document and pasted it in. And so there's the black one as well. So to get our design onto the t-shirt, I'll start with the white design. I'm just gonna copy it, paste it in Photoshop to wherever I want. This is actually designed for Bring Me the Horizon a while back, and just chuck it in there. That technically is all you have to do. A lot of people will just paste it in like that, and that's pretty much the end of it. But there are some ways that you can make it look a bit more realistic really, really easily. If I just double click on this layer of my artwork, on the blending options tab, which is automatically selected, what I can do is use this blend if option here. So basically what this is going to do is going to tell Photoshop anywhere, if we focus on the underlying layer, anywhere that the underlying layer is this color, it is going to blend my design with that color sort of thing. So it's sort of hard to explain. But if I just drag this one out, you'll notice that when I get to here, the design starts to fade away, right? The issue with this is that it looks really, really harsh and just unrealistic. So what I can do instead is hold down Alt and just click on this little arrow. It'll split into two arrows, and I can just grab the one on the right and just drag it out a little bit. And you can see that it starts to just blend a little more nicely with the t-shirt. So it almost looks like it's just slightly faded into the shirt a little bit more, and you can see some of the texture of the t-shirt coming through. So that's a really good way to just make it look a little bit more authentic, a little bit more like a real printed t-shirt. So I can do the same thing on any colored t-shirt really. So if I jump back now, I'll grab this design that I just did for a bar in America, in New Orleans, and paste that one in. So it already looks pretty cool. I can just jump in a little bit. Same thing now, except because this is a white shirt, I'm gonna go from the opposite end of the slider where the white arrow is. And same sort of thing, you'll notice as I bring it in, it's way too harsh. So hold down Alt to click it, drag this one in, and it will make it sort of semi-opaque, semi-transparent I should say, like that. So as you can see now, if I zoom in a little bit, it brings in some of that shirt texture, so it just looks a little bit nicer. So yeah, that's all there is to it. It's really, really basic. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that in the other shot, I had the front of a t-shirt, and on this one, I've actually got the back. And now you might be wondering, You know, you might find a supplier where it's got a really good photo of the front but no photos of the back, which is what I have with AS Color. They don't have any photographs of the back of their t-shirts. So how did I edit it? Well, it's actually really easy. So this was the original photo. It's the same photograph that I used for the back. So you'll notice that all I did was just Photoshop out the neck tag. So to do that, I'll just make sure that one's hidden. To do that, just zoom in and we're gonna grab the healing brush tool, spot healing brush tool I should say. Bump it up a little bit. It's J on your keyboard for the shortcut, by the way. And if I just draw over this section of the neck here, Photoshop is smart enough to basically Photoshop that out and detect, you know, what I want and kind of remove it. And you'll notice that when I'm doing this, you can say, oh, it's kind of obvious that it's been Photoshopped. But when you actually look at it far out, I've done this for so many people, it's been on so many websites and stuff like that. No one has ever noticed, no one has ever said a thing, and I've done hundreds upon hundreds of these things. So you can spend some time. That one wasn't quite perfect, but you can spend a little bit of time, make the brush a bit smaller and stuff like that, and get it exactly how you want in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Then what I do is I just keep a copy of this layer. I save the Photoshop document as a template file. I make a folder for each color of t-shirt that I think I'll ever use. And then anytime someone needs a mock-up, all I have to do is open the template that I've made, paste it straight in, save the file, and it's done. So yeah, I hope you guys found that useful. And if you enjoyed the video, as always, I'd really appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything else you want to learn, you know the drill, guys. Just ask away in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.